All right, well, I have Joe Waggle and Tony Colson from Genesis Casket. We're going to do a quick video interview here. So, Joe, Tony, how are you?
Ryan, doing
Great.
well.
Very well.
73 degrees in Indianapolis, sunny day in April. How does it get any better than that?
I
It's
don't
good.
think it can, unless there's a beach there. That'd be all right.
Well, give me 30 days from now, and you'll find me at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for an afternoon.
Okay.
But other than that, it's good.
Good deal. Well, thanks for hopping on the Skype video call today. I really just want to touch on where Genesis is at right now. At ICCFA, you told me that you're rolling out full production now of all models. So kind of give us an update. It's been almost 6 months since our first interview right after NFDA. So how are things going?
Well, Ryan, first of all, let me say thanks for the continued interest in Genesis Casket, what we're doing, and the progress that we're making, and being willing to extend this forum to us to communicate with your readership, who are obviously our customers.
Sure.
So we appreciate it. Genesis Casket is in a good place right now, Ryan. We're 3 months, obviously, since our launch, since our introduction. We're into the 4th month. And there's no doubt that we've had some challenges. We've addressed those in the past in previous conversations. Most people know by now that we did a restructuring about 4 weeks ago where we released 41 people. The majority of those were layoffs. As a matter of fact, 36 were layoffs, 5 were actual position eliminations, but 41 reductions in the organization. Since that time, what I can tell you is sales have begun to increase. We finished with a nice result in March. We're off to basically the same pace of sales in April through the first 17 days.
Great.
Hopefully we'll see that escalate as we continue through the month, but we're satisfied. I've used an expression with some people. Probably we're better off probably than we deserve. Not exactly where we want to be, but it's not all bad.
Sure. Well, go ahead.
Well, with respect to the workforce, and anytime you do an initiative like this, I don't really care who you are, and these things are necessary. I mean, business and the volatility in business and industry today, and the economy necessitates right sizing and adjusting of the organization. I think that's going to be with us for a long time. But clearly, then, what you have to think through are what is the effect, what are the implications. We know what the economics of the move are. We've already calculated that. But then, what level of worker engagement remain? How's people's attitudes? And what I can tell you is that the workforce here at Genesis, both hourly and salary, have embraced the restructuring, but more importantly, embraced the vision and believe in it. And every day, matter of fact, I just had a customer here earlier today, spent about 3.5 hours with him and then lunch. But all of them, without fail, comment, wow, Tony, your workforce seems like they enjoy what they're doing. They appreciate what they're doing. They value what they're doing. And I will tell you they do, Ryan.
And if I could add to that too, Ryan, is that to Tony's credit, when we had the reduction, it was obviously executed by our HR department, but Tony was there, very visible when the interviews and the discussions took place and when they concluded. And Tony went up to each person, and to a person, I think with one exception, they all thanked Tony for the job. As Tony said, they've embraced the vision and said, look, we know you've got a good thing going. We know you've hit some stumbles, but when that day comes, and we know it's going to be coming sometime down the road, would you please hire us back, because we want to come back, because we want to be part of the future of Genesis Casket. So, I mean, that was a great testimony to what we're building here in Indianapolis.
Oh, absolutely. And as you know, I still have contacts with some of your salespeople from past relationships at different companies, and it seems like there's a very positive feel, just to echo kind of what you're saying, that I've experienced. And, I've heard some great things from your customers that I know and that are using the product. And I know recently you were just in Columbus, Ohio, giving a presentation, so heard great things from that. But as you're moving forward, what are there any new distribution plans or different markets you're now reaching and getting into?
Well, in fact, let me take a quick stab at that, Ryan. It's never good to interrupt the president, but one thing that happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had our very first truckload order, because we have continued to get requests from funeral directors outside our distribution markets saying, "Hey, we want your product. When are you going to come to my market?" And we haven't been bashful about saying, for the foreseeable future, we're going to stay east of the Mississippi. Well, we had a customer who wanted to take the casket. We somewhat jokingly, but somewhat seriously said, "Look, would you want to take a truckload?" And lo and behold, 3 weeks ago, we loaded up a truckload full of Genesis caskets and sent them west of the Mississippi. So that's the first. We followed up with him. This customer has already used well over a half dozen of the truckload, so we fully expect him to reorder. We had some great contact from people in Las Vegas on the very same topic. So, what's new in distribution? I mean, we're pretty well set with our markets right now, but we continue to get inquiries outside, and to a certain degree, some of them have been very open to taking a truckload order.
Well, and just to follow up on that one, Ryan, that particular customer not only placed the order and took it, flew here on his own dime.
Wow.
Said, "I want to come see your plant. I've heard good things." We said, "We'd be more than happy." He said, "No." He said, "I'll take care of my own travel. Insist on it. If you'll take care of my rooming, I'll take care of the travel." We did. Was here overnight, spent the day with us, and at the conclusion said, "I want to be a customer, and let's do this." And so placed the order, and Joe's right. We continue to operate. We want to basically stabilize and drive our results through the 8 distribution centers we have.
Okay.
But let's face it, that channel beyond our boundaries, where people are willing to take bulk distribution orders, we're going to accommodate that.
Well, and I remember in our first interview and conversation during the initial launch, you had said that concentrating east of the Mississippi and going farther west was, you would entertain the idea of truckload. So, that's good that that's happening. And just for people that are going to be watching this, curiosity, what is considered a truckload?
Well, there's various quantities, all right, but the minimum quantity is 15, okay. And then we'll move from there. But if you want to think about it in these denominations, Ryan, it would be 15, 40, and then probably 84, a semi-load full. So a 53-foot trailer, we can get 84 in if somebody can do that. The truckload that this particular customer took was 40.
Okay.
But anything greater than 15. And we do have a formalized truckload discount program in recognition. Discount's probably the wrong term. Having said, our price is our price.
Right.
However, we're not paying the distribution for that. The second haul. You'll take them at one time. And it's the same program for every customer. So it's a minimal amount. For 15 caskets, it's basically $15 off. If it's 40 caskets, $25 off. And for the full truckload, I can't remember now, Billingsley's got, I believe it's $50. So if you take a semi-full of $84, Ryan, I think it's $50 off each casket.
And so that's going to be a standard regardless of what funeral home it is or who it is.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, and again, it is really in consideration of eliminating a second haul leg.
Sure.
So we take them from us straight to you. You take delivery of them. It eliminates that. And so to continue, that's embedded in our price, just like every manufacturer. So to charge them that, we felt it was only right to basically back that component out of the price.
Sure. Great. I think moving forward, what's the next step for Genesis? I know if you could touch on real quick, you've now have released the rest of the line, if I'm correct.
Well, we're close. We've made each model. There's no doubt about it. About 2 weeks ago, Ryan, we stepped back. We had some issues in the manufacturing with the product that just simply we weren't satisfied with. So, for example, I'll tell you exactly what they were. On the brushed products, we were getting some overspray into the caps. We wanted to correct that into the brushed portion of the finish. We've done that, but that takes some time to work out with the robotics and the spray path and all the different variables that you manage with that process. So we've done that. We've also had some inconsistencies with cap alignment. We wanted to run that to ground and fix it. Not that it would preclude a cap from closing, but they may hit, or the alignment may not look, the gap didn't look consistent between the head cap and the foot cap. We wanted to find out what's doing that to us, solve it. And so in essence, we were down for a week. All last week, we didn't produce a casket. We wanted to make sure these things are right, and then we began production again on Monday. So to continue to roll out models until we have some of those fixed didn't make sense to us. Let's sustain what we have out there, fix the things we want to fix, and then continue with the rollout. So where we are today is we have any number of the models in the field, and over the course of the next 2 weeks, we'll be introducing the new ones as well. We've made them all successfully, and now it's just building inventory into the distribution centers, providing the collateral material to the reps, and allowing them to begin making the sales calls.
Are you going to stick for the near future with the 8 distribution centers you have now, or are you opening anything further east?
Not in the near term. Right? We'll stay with the 8 that we have right now. We do have some expansion plans continuing south through the end of this year, and then probably looking to the east in 2013. But for right now, those 8 will carry us.
Well, great. Well, so it sounds like the state of Genesis is still solid and still moving full steam ahead.
Yeah, very much so. Our board is unified. The leadership here is unified. This company's not going away. Gaston enters their business ventures with a long-term view, Ryan, and they've done so with Genesis Casket. Now, that's not to say that we may not speed up or slow down various initiatives to manage our capital, to manage our resources. Every company does that. Sure. We're no different, but we're not going away. This company's here to stay. They've made a significant investment and continue to.
And as you know, next week is the Ohio Convention.
Right.
And we'll certainly be there with product. In fact, we're really looking forward to it because, Chicago was kind of in our sweet spot. It wasn't that far away, obviously, but we were just coming out. Right. Vegas was way outside of our distribution sweet spot. So this is going to give us the opportunity for those funeral directors in Ohio can come see the product, can come see us. Can basically come kick the tires, and we'll follow that. Next month it's Michigan, and right after that, you get into June, which I think the rest of the states have their conventions. So right. It's a wonderful opportunity for those customers in our markets to come see us, to come see what we're all about, and come see some of those innovations that we've brought to the casket making that help differentiate and set us apart.
Well, great. Go ahead, Tony.
I'll tell you one thing that's been interesting. There's any number of things, but this one specifically, and it's been gratifying, especially in the light of some of our challenges that I just spoke about. Currently, we have about 400 active customers after 3 months. Wow. So that's gratifying. There have been customers who have been extended an offer by one of our competitors to basically match our price for up to 2 years if they would allow them to buy the Genesis casket, put their casket on the floor, and they will match our price for 2 years, which, as you know, is about a 50 to 55% discount to their list. Right. We're about half price.
Wow.
We haven't had a single customer yet take us up on that. And so take them up on that. So we feel good about that. Absolutely. And that doesn't mean we're doing everything right. We're not. We're working hard and trying. And I think the customers who are buying from us understand our vision, understand where we want to go, and they're appreciative. The product quality is critical to us. That's why we did the action we did last week. But they're appreciative. They love the price. They love the look and the quality. So that feels good.
Great. Well, I have to thank you, Joe and Tony, for agreeing to do this call and for being so open and transparent about Genesis and where you're at and how things have been going, what's been good, what hasn't been good. So I really appreciate that openness. And we brought up the Ohio Convention. I really have to thank you for sponsoring the presentation that I'm going to be giving at the Ohio show. I really value that. So thank you for this. And anytime in the near future, if anything new's happening or you're making any changes or expanding market share. Would love to do another one of these.
Well, Ryan, just in conclusion, I'll say this: you have a lot of followers, obviously, with Connecting Directors, and you're to be congratulated and commended for that.
Thank you.
Any of the funeral directors who are going to see this or hear this, whether they be local in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, wherever, or even further away, we welcome visitors to our facility. Our doors are open at any time, and we'll share with them the Genesis process, methodology, our vision, and our products. And so I just want to say that publicly for those who will be viewing, let them know they're always welcome. Just simply give us a call. We'd love to work with them and do it.
Great.
And you too. We'd love to have you come over and visit.
I would love to, absolutely, and I'm sure that will be soon. I would like to. I have never toured a casket facility, so I think it would be very interesting.
Make Genesis first.
All right.
Bring your father-in-law with you. Tell him there's no concrete over here, but we'll still make you feel pretty welcome.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, Ryan, take care.
Take care.
See you.